Mhm. Share on Facebook. Okay, there we go. Ooh, brother, that's some shit. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I start talking again up over here, so the YouTube people can catch up. Hey YouTube, good morning. What's tea? Hey fish, come in the room. Don't forget to give a thumbs up to the video when you come here. Hey y'all, hey, come on in the room. Come on, give it a thumbs up if you come in the room. The top, the three buttons on the right hand side of the thing, and that'll give you your ability to give a like to the video. Go ahead and like the video. Good morning, Milbur. Hey, Miss Plies. Good morning, Miss Dixon. Good morning, Emma. Okay, so I was over there up over. We here. Okay, good. Nola December 14th pageant. What that is? Nola December 4th. What's December 14th? So, like I was saying, I will return to North America. I mean, oh shit, to Duval. I will return to Duval, and that is only based upon the strength and the energy that I receive from every promoter, every owner, and every division representative. As the business and brand pageant Nola, Queen pageant Nola. Oh, December 14th. Oh, okay. I'll be in the building. I'm not competing for Queen. I'm sure Kennedy gonna go back for a give up. I'm sure she gonna go back. But I'm not going to King and Queen now. As far as competing, that's not in my thoughts. Um, but what my issues is, and this is where I'm glad I'm a strong enough person, a strong enough competitor, and I was smart enough. You will accept tips. Yeah, if I'm there, you can. Oh, anytime you see me out in public, you can give me some. As long as I'm not competing. Now, if I'm competing, you see me when I'm walking to go and have me a cigarette and tip a bitch. Um, honestly, there were a few things on the judge sheet that I was bothered by that I know for a fact are opinion based and not fact based. Um, like I was just talking up on TikTok and I said, the first one that began was they said I missed the word and there is no failure. I was beautiful at Duval. I'm not even lying about that. I felt great. I felt comfortable. No tea, no shade. And I publicly said now that the pageant is over with, bitch, I competed with two pieces of hair that weekend. Even though I took more hair with me, under the impression that somebody would, attempt to try and touch up and, fix up to make sure that we had. I even went through the process of relaxing my hair so that it would be less of an issue for me to be, sculpted, styled, and those things. But that didn't happen, so it was a waste of my time in that retrospect. And I was slightly bothered by that because I don't, for me, it was no reason for me to take hair here from my house if you weren't going to touch it. So I'm slightly bothered by that. For you to tell me to bring hair that you would attempt to touch and you don't touch it. So that yeah, that bothered me. Um, but I made sure all my hair came back home because that's my next piece. For now on, competing and all that other stuff, all my stuff has to come back home. So my big issues with the judges' sheets or endorsed critiques and all that stuff. The first one was that there was only one judge that said I missed the word and there is no failure. I've done this song so many times from front to back, beginning to end. I don't miss words. I'm a professional when it comes to that part of my job. That's the least of my worries. The absolute least. So you were responsible. I've never known you because I don't miss words. I don't play with songs that I don't know, and I don't do them. So that alone in itself is something that is one of them. Oh, you had to say something, so you went ahead with that one. On top of the fact everybody in on the panel had already given up to their own conclusion that it looked as though my shoe was too tight because my and I know this. I have a swollen foot. I have a very wide foot. So me going into a heel, regardless of what heel it is, most times my foot looks swole. My feet swell as well. But for you to say and take off based upon the fact, oh, it looks as though your shoe is too small. No, it's the correct size. My foot is just swollen. I've been in heels all day today. There is nothing to avoid that. But that being your one critique that you could give me is just that, oh, the shoe looks like it's too tight. Am I in the shoe? Does my foot hang off the back of the shoe or does my foot end at the back of the shoe? Because if my heel is hanging over the back of the heel, then I'll let you go ahead and get me for it. But my heel wasn't hanging off. But because of the fact of peeling and looking to you, it looks as though it's tight. That's my foot. There is nothing else better I can do. It's a 14. And it was a slingback 14. So the picking. Um so that and then the miss word. I'll take everybody having an issue with the shoe. Okay, you can have your issue with the shoe. Because more than one judge said it. So I'll let that stay. But then my issue then becomes how does only one judge say I missed the word and none of the rest of you actually catch me miss the word? Because I didn't miss a word. Um, the next one, gown. Now, it's interesting, and this happened, and I'll take the critique. I'm out there for gown, my final turn after I'm turning from the judges to walk back down the aisle. My ring mysteriously loosens up and goes sliding across out into the audience. No, I don't even have a video of me performing the song. That's the terrible thing. But I also understand that's part of what you have to do when judging is nitpick. But your nitpick should have been correct nitpick and not opinion based nitpick. Good morning, Mama T. Um, so from there you have gown. Now yes, the ring did fall off, slide off, go fly into the crowd. I don't know how that happened. The ring is actually too tight, so it only fits on this finger. I've never opened the ring, but somehow, some way, the ring went sliding. Maybe my fingers were sweating. I was nervous. I don't know. The ring went sliding. I'll take the point for the ring. But where my issue then comes in at is one judge wrote, "Oh, an earring fell off." But I'm standing at the back of the stage with two earrings on. So technically, because you weren't paying attention, you saw something fall and or heard something fall. And instead of making sure you had an informed uh, critique when you wrote down that takeoff, you didn't have it. You just automatically guessed that it was an earring. But I still had both my earrings on. So technically, for me, I had an issue with that. They said that you weren't paying attention or weren't looking close enough. You honestly weren't paying the attention that you should have been to sit on the judges panel to even take off the point for an earring when it was a ring. Those are two separate things and two different, way different spaces. My hands never came this high up for you to think that a earring came off. And that also says you never looked me over again before I left the stage before you wrote the comment. So that was the issue for me. The next issue was that someone said that the fringe looked, um, my fringe on the blue gown, the sleeves weren't full. Well, love, there's a difference between fringe and chain link. I have chain link rhinestone that I've made into fringe on my gown, not fringe on the gown. Those are two separate, two different things. I've worn that gown now 3 times. And that gown has been added to since my last time, and nobody has ever said that the gown looks unfull or the sleeves don't look full. And we've added more to the sleeves since I've worn it here in Chicago and won in it. And the crazier part is, and that's really my big thing, I have the same amount of fringe that my mama have up on her gown. So how is it? Should have seen it before I got. But that's my point. You and the bigger piece is you being a judge. You shouldn't sit on a judge's panel and can't differentiate and don't know how to detail stuff. Now, it just because you have a lack of knowledge and you can't see well enough to see that that's not that's not beaded fringe, that's rhinestone chain up on my gown. That's not my fault. I'm sorry, you don't spend that type of money on it because it's most definitely a price difference. But then, and that's the worst part. There is no room. If you actually looked at the gown and you pay attention to while I'm standing there like this is why I stand like this when I come out, so that you can see that there is no room in between each one of the strings that are hanging. There isn't any extra room for the gown to still lay flush. It's literally each trim of the stone, each trim of the chain has a chain stone, chain stone, chain stone, chain stone, all the way up to here. And literally, they line each other so that the gown still falls in a straight line while my arms are like this. Now, I'm sorry that you don't understand design. But the gown is made for functionality, not for the sake of, oh, well, we going to get you because you just got a whole bunch of bullshit on here. But because most people only are understanding and most people only use beaded fringe, they automatically assume that that's beaded fringe. No, baby, that's not beaded fringe. That's chain link, rhinestone chain link in a metal casing. So there's only but so much room and space that you can get because it's still a square. The difference between fringe is on a string. Critique of, and this is my truth. I don't watch nobody else. I don't watch nobody else. It's very, very rare that I'm watching and paying attention to people while competing because I'm not competing with the rest of you bitches. And that's regardless, I'm competing on the paper. Now, this is my next piece. And then I'll move from here. We can talk about anything else y'all want to. It's 24 people in the room. Can we get 24 for likes on this video? The screen, three buttons at the bottom or top of the video. Press them three buttons and then get the thumbs up, please and thank you. Um, a few things. This has taught me if for this pageant, if y'all didn't get me for one, technically two pieces of hair all night, which I'm no longer buying four pieces of hair. You didn't. That's dead now. That's dead. Three pieces of hair minimum and maximum for any and every pageant for now on. If that. I'm like that. That makes no sense. Yes, because it's not a Miss Kelly. This pageant drops highs and lows, and they don't do comparative. So if there's no comparative, I'm not looking at the rest of you bitches because technically I'm. That's not how the score gonna boil down. The score boil down to how you critique me and what points I hit on that sheet. So that's why I normally don't look at other bitches. Bitch, if it ain't a comparison, a comparative gown or comparative ranking and all that, other, bitch, I ain't gotta look at the rest of y'all. Cause bitch, you could go out there and some shit fall off of you that I don't see fall off of you. And those are points gone, docked, and deducted. You go out there and stumble in your speech and I never hear it, and those are points docked and deducted. So I don't look around the room while we get doing the page. That'll defeat the purpose. Cause bitch, it's what you do while you on them 30 to 1 minute, 30 seconds to a minute that you up on stage. I don't know what you doing if you were before me or even after me. I don't know. I have to be out there present to watch. But for me, bitch, I'm not watching. I'm not seeing what you putting on because, bitch, I worry about what I'm putting on. It's my shit right that I'm putting on. It was one judge, and there is one judge that I'm waiting and I'm prepared for because she has a pageant in the next 2 months. And bitch, when I tell you, bitch, that hole better be in a motherfucking 5 inch heel. One and two, the bitch better walk better than Naomi the fuck Campbell, or bitch, I'm most definitely going to be petty and make that comment up underneath every motherfucking post that she posts with that. And it's most definitely going to be a comment that I'm gonna write on her page. Oh girl, you might need to learn how to walk on your heel too. Looks like I'm not the only one that can't walk in the heel. Because the bitch said that it looks like I had trouble walking in my sportswear shoe. No, I tipped for a purpose because I wasn't trying to run through the motherfucking pageant. Bitch, when you look like money, you have money, and you spend money, bitch, look at me. I ain't gotta walk with the fast. For what? What's wrong? Ain't shit wrong, girl. So the judges, there's one that does, and she got Universe coming up. So I'm waiting for her to come and tip across the stage, come Universe, because I'm going to be the petty bitch to say something about it. That's one of them places to where when you are a judge and when you still have to be judged, you have to be a little bit more mindful of those things. You have to realize that judges are going to compare you with all the other people compete. Nope, shouldn't, because that ain't what the score sheet says. Your score sheet, if my score sheet never says comparative, your job of comparative is not a job. That means that you aren't fit to judge because you have to judge what's in front of you, not what's already left you. Because this is not comparative. I understand where I compete at. This system drops highs and lows. It's not a comparative or ranking. Ranking is when you're supposed to compare me to the next bitch. Comparative is when you're supposed to rank me with the next bitch. And this is my truth. I wasn't in my head space correctly as a competitor, but who follow all the rules these days? If that's the case, then don't sit your ass on the panel. And especially don't sit your ass on the panel and you still have yet to be finished and done with doing all your competing. Because now once you do that, you open yourself up for the nitpicking from other people. But also that's in truthful and fairness, that'll be your karma that comes back and bites you in the ass. Because when people do that shit and people want to get people bitches together on judges panels and shit, whether you do it in the front of people's faces or behind closed doors, karma sees it all, and karma comes back and bite every bitch in their ass. It may not get you when I want you to get gat, but bitch you'll get gat. Have you been judged by? Have I ever been judged by Ava? I probably have, and even then I had an issue with it. And I realistically would say it. Part of the reason why I try not to even bring up and or say anything is because part of it is I feel like they do that because her and my mama got their little banter back and forth. I don't even know where I placed. I know going into question and answer, I went in the top three. And like I was saying for question and answer, it was a four-part question, three questions, one statement. Most of the judges didn't even understand the question, and that's an honest statement. Most of the judges didn't understand nor get the question themselves, nor did they have a copy of the question in front of them so that they could read for actual understanding. So most all of us, and this is even for the top three girls. This judge doesn't like your mom. Girl, they had a little love hate relationship banter back and forth where they talk shit to each other, and you never know how bitches really feel about that shit. And that's just gonna be real. What was the question? Girl, I couldn't even fucking remember. Something about bitter lemons. Girl, life gives you bitter lemons. Tell us about a time when life gave you a bitter lemon and how did you make it? What did you do with it? What did you learn? And what would you do? How would that help you for the year rating for Miss Duval? It was a four-parted question that only actually had three questions that you had to answer. I answered all three parts, but because of the fact that in there, and this is the next piece, I shouldn't have to lead you to the entire question and be verbatim. If you can't follow a story and understand the story, that's not my fault. That also says that you can't judge properly. Bitter lemons, yes. Life give you bitter lemons. When they give you bitter lemons, what do you do with it? Explain the time in which you were given bitter lemons. What did you do with it? How did you overcome it? And what would you do for the next year as Miss Duval? And how could they help you the next year as Miss Duval Plus? And I just like even the top three girls all said that on their judges on their sheets, they also saw how they were missing points because they said that they missed the part of the question. But all of us were saying the same thing. None of us felt like we missed the part of the question. But like I was saying, for me, I wasn't at my in my mind, in my shit. And yeah, I was good and beautiful, but I wasn't in my space. So I'm not arguing about whoever plays where, girl. It is what it is. But realistically, and this is my next piece. Maybe you got me for any of that shit because I wasn't in my headspace. But bitch, some of your shit was opinion based and not factual. Well, very true, Miss Kelly, and I understand that. I'm fully aware of motherfuckers do that because that is a common practice in pageantry that people do that take their shots at people. But again, you shouldn't take those shots at people, and you still have yet. You still are being judged yourself. How do you stop it? And this is the truth. Most times, that's when people start asking for people to be removed off judges panel. What one of the girls that competed with me, I genuinely feel like anytime I've ever sat in front of her to get judged, she's just did the same exact thing. As well got me together for little and minute shit. And was doing girlfriend points. So I was happy to see that she didn't win. Hmm. Yeah. Needless to say, yeah, I was happy. I was most definitely happy she ain't win. I don't even, and that's the bigger piece. Listen, Karma is a bitch, and she sees all and knows all. So that was the reason why that they got first and they didn't win was because of the fact you've been going around and you've done this girlfriend points and being favored and being phony when it comes to judges. And the reason why I know that it's been a nitpicking thing because whenever they have judged me, the moment that after the pageant and I get back home and I can be talking about random shit and then now strangely, mysteriously, now they're all on my page, they're interacting and talking with me. But bitch, you don't talk to me the other time. You don't even speak to me, and I'm live all the time, bitch. So you can't say, "Oh well, girl, I be beat." No, bitch. I'm keeping the same at time. I don't change up. So, bitch, it can't be that, oh, you be that busy, but now all of a sudden, after I compete up underneath your pen and you do some dirty shit. And that's the thing. I've never publicly addressed it. I've never said anything to her because at this point, bitch, you've gotten your two times now. So now, if any other time I go someplace and she's sitting on the panel, I'll either have her removed or, bitch, I ain't got to compete because I don't trust you. And now, based upon that, it won't be, oh, somebody in there. No, bitch, you've judged me twice, and both times I've had discrepancies with you with what you wrote up on this sheet, and you don't know understand the difference between opinion and facts. So either you will be removed from the panel if I got to sit up underneath there and be judged, or bitch, I won't even be judged at all. I'm good. But yeah, I'll be honest and say, I agree. I was so fucking happy she only made it to first. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I'm happy Trinity Ward did. Even though, girl, I feel like they cheated us there too, because, girl, I don't know if she really weighed 220. Ah! Yeah, I'm just fucking with her. But me and her have a great relationship, and that's the next thing. I have a genuinely good relationship with Trinity, and I don't feel like we have any accent against each other. We was able to pick and have fun with each other. She understands my Ozympata joke is genuinely a joke between us, and it's not nothing malicious or evil. It is genuinely, girl. You know, you bitch, you small, girl. You keep coming down, girl. Very much. Would they put you in the dark like with the other judge? Nope. Because truthfully speaking, it ain't got to be no discussion between the other judges as to who pulled that person or why they got pulled. And again, once I pull you, if there seems to be a discrepancy or no issue at the end of the night, then I can now take this to the owners and the people that's in charge. But yeah, girl, I was so fucking happy she didn't win. Girl, when I came back in after having my cigarettes and they had walked back in, yeah, I'm like, girl, now who the fuck got the fucking crown? Damn, girl, I hope she ain't won. Then when Trinity came back there with the crown, I said, oh, whew, you did your big one, Lord. Yes, God. Worked it out. Crack her face. Miss Duval, I don't know my placement. Girl, they only called out the top three. And I'm, what's Teacher Erie? And I'm going to be honest and say, bitch, I wasn't up out of the top four. And truthfully speaking, let's just be honest about this next piece. They had to do another question after we did question and answer because of the fact that two bitches tied for a place. And once they finally broke the tie, then they moved somebody to a placement and somebody else got bumped down. So truthfully speaking, I'll just be honest and say, I believe I was in the top three. What knocked me out of the top three was them time for question and then having to go into another round of question, which added more points and then gave them a different placement. I do honestly believe I was in your top three. But if I wasn't in your top three, bitch, I'm not gonna take that I was no less than your top four. Since y'all ain't announced it, y'all ain't saying where the placements was, bitch, I say it myself, bitch. I was the 4-4. And I'm fine with that. Because, bitch, once again, I was competing against vets. Vets with multiple pieces of hair that had dressers that were professional at the end all be all. So, bitch, y'all should have. Y'all better had did the best. So they don't give y'all score. Yeah, I got my score sheets, but they don't give you placement score sheets. You don't actually get a placement score sheet. Or like a master sheet that's posted to say what the order was. It's figure. Like I said, I will return to Duval. I will be back for Duval, and I will be Miss Duval. When? And somebody said the other day when I gave that answer, it was like, "Oh, that's the real nice way of saying no, and you're not gonna go back." No, that's my real nice way of saying, "Bitch, I know I'm prepared to reign for someone. I know I have the capabilities of winning a pageant, and I know that within my wheelhouse, I have all that it takes to be reigning for someone before this time next year." And realistically, there are several fucking pageants between here and December. Yes, we're at the end of motherfucking the pageant season, but bitch, there are several pageants between now and December that even there I could be writing someplace there. So no, I can't honestly say that it'll be next year because I refuse to sit down for a year. There's no reason for me to have to sit down for a year. If I have the capabilities, the wherewithal, and the closet to go and reign for someone, I can and will go and do so. But I'm also realistically, because it didn't happen this year, whatever happens between now and next year, I'm not going to tell myself, no, you're not going to give yourself that freedom and opportunity to do anything or give yourself the chance to be anything or anyone that you are deserving to be. Just to wait around for no. Hell, at this point, I may just wait for my mother's 5 year give up. I mean, my mother's 5 year anniversary. So we'll share anniversaries just like we share anniversaries for Black Hunt. Since she couldn't crown me, where the heck are you? I've been taking my time for myself since I've been blocked up on Facebook. I've been taking this time as a breather. I'm not even gonna lie. And realistically and truthfully, it's also been the biggest blessing in disguise for me. Because I haven't had to be bothered or bantered with all of the extra bullshit that comes along with competing. And this is my next truth. I went in with the least amount of people seeing it for me. It was funny how and this is part of the reason why I was glad I was not on, because I probably would have addressed it. But it was amazing to me how people that claim to be family, close and or supportive, not once did I see or read from certain people. But you was, oh, rah rah rah, go team somebody else. But we supposed to be family, huh? Got it. I mean, I understand that, and I've been missing y'all. That's some real shit. I've been missing y'all, but at the realistic, I've enjoyed taking that time back for the mental time for me. Yeah, on Facebook, I most definitely peeped that. I was really at that place to where it was like, damn, I'm glad that it happened when it did. So at least I'm not at a place to where I'm wondering, guessing, or thinking, or wondering, do you see it for me? I know you don't see it for me. So that I never have to worry about. And that's part of my next thing as to why there are certain people in spaces that I just don't fuck with. Please don't let it upset you with the future pageants. What will you do different now? Uh, what I'll do different now, and this is some real shit. As much as and this is an open and honest conversation that we can have publicly, and I'll say it again once we're back over there, live up on there. Child, I thought I was gonna have to fly to Chicago and check on you. I've been in a space, but not in that same sense. I've been in this space for other reasons. But what I would do differently, mm, as we all know, when I compete and have competed any other time, I compete a certain way. I am a certain way, and I'm very particular. My first thing that I know for a fact for the future, if I'm going to compete anywhere, go anywhere, I will require and need a space of my own to be away from people. So that when I'm ready to be an introvert and when I'm ready to have my space to myself, I can do just that. That's first. Second, before going to compete, I'll have, and this is the next piece, and it's sad to say it, but that's when certain things have to be paid. That's why I pay certain people that do everything else, so that I don't have to worry about anything being done. I compete best with things that I know all I'm doing is putting on and I have to execute, not things that I have to worry about if they're going to make it and do this is part. So if that means I have to go get it sourced and pay other people to do those things, so be it. That's where we are now. This has also taught me that, bitch, you need to buy clean, simple hair that can go for multiple categories. Because, bitch, there's no reason to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on hair pieces. And, bitch, I just walked through the motherfucking pageant. And maybe they would have, maybe I probably would have, well, I can't say that. We don't know if I would have placed higher because, bitch, there was no issue. Not one comment about the fact that I wore the one wig the entire night. Kept sliding the bitch over the other side. Bitch, the motherfucker was straight first, next category there, next category there, last category here. Bitch, stay the ground. Ain't nobody saying shit about the motherfucker. Say one motherfucking piece of goddamn. Girl, I do. Next piece, I would say, and this is a true statement. Part of my reason as to why I try not to invite my fan base, the family, the jewel box out to the pageants to compete is because one thing for sure and two for certain, I never want to be looked at as a meal ticket for anyone. I don't want it to become or be at a space or place of where promoters are excited for me to compete because of the crowd that will come to see me and not just excited to see me compete because they know that I'll do a great job as the queen. I don't want that to ever happen. But also realistically, that bitch, I almost need to start letting it happen. Let y'all pack out a motherfucking pageant. Then they do some stupid shit. End of the night, and then all that money go walk out the door. And then I say I'm not returning either. And this is the truth for me. It's not many systems that I can say that if I lose, that I will return to. And it's not me being a sore loser. It's just about me growing from those spaces. And sometimes after the experience of competing, is all that's needed, and it doesn't leave a good enough impression for me to still want for the system. As of right now, I can honestly say that the promoters of Duval, the owners of Duval, and the people and powers that be that sit on the board, all of them were the greatest. When I tell you the most personable, the most loving, the most sweet and caring, Lady Marissa and Tasha both all night. If I asked them, can you look me over? Do I look all right? Or do I look good? Give me an honest opinion. Do I even went to both of them about tights, which this is what I let out. Um, I competed with somebody else's tights that night as well because all of my tights that I had were left at the Airbnb. The importance of having a dresser. And so for me, I can say that once I realized that my tights were not with all of my stuff and all of my belongings, it sent me out into a whole new headspace to where I was just about at the place to where I was like, girl, fuck the page. I don't even give a fuck no more. And that's a realistic statement. Why? Because then it becomes, now I'm more worried about hiding flaws that if I had what I supposed to have had, I wouldn't be worried about those things. Like for talent, there's two issues with talent that I had. The first one was, as y'all know, the last time we were in Florida, I was got for the fact that they saw a new panty and thought it was Barbie crotch. Which again, that was that. Like I said, could we come back to it, back around? The judge that said it was the one that got first runner up on this past weekend. But you know that you saw me put on a new camisole before you even went and sat on the judge's panel. So for you to even say anything about Barbie crotch, and you know for a fact I had on a body girdle, is mind-boggling to me. You saw for a fact because you sat your ass in the back dressing room and where you shouldn't have been if you were a judge to begin with. But that's neither here nor there. But because in the back of my mind, what's coming up is, oh girl, they'll get you for their skirt coming up. Because realistically, in my mind, and then somebody said it, oh well, girl, you should have had an orange panty. An orange pant? Help me understand. Who raised you? Because you wouldn't wear an orange panty up underneath an orange dress. In no church. You can't try and get me to believe that you can wear, or you were raised to believe that you wear orange panties up underneath an orange dress. What? Huh? You what the fuck? I know you fucking lying. I know you not expecting somebody to put on a fucking orange panty up underneath an orange. Okay. So that had been in the back of my head and had been bothering me. I was doing There Is No Failure again. And normally, for the page's sake, I do all of the extras, the spin, the fall on the floor. This time around, because of the fact that I knew I had on a black panty and they already said that, oh, orange go up underneath for orange. Now, where the fuck that happened, that girl? So I know for myself, I was very conscious and not in my best element competing. Once the tights were missing, and the fact of, then now I'm thinking about the fact of, oh, I don't have on my actual color tights or my actual comfort tights. I have on somebody else's tights, and this makes me very uncomfortable about it. So it was an experience, um, but also a learning lesson for me. But yeah, I can say it was an eye-opening situation going into the pageant where you saw certain people that call themselves family and friends and people close to you, but they weren't even seeing it for you. So I learned a lot this weekend. But truthfully speaking, because overall everybody else, those powers that be, made me feel welcome, made me feel loved, and made me feel appreciated, and loved on me the way that they did, I'll be back for Duval. When? Well, girl, I'll call you back. We got 10 more days. We'll be back live. What today is? What today is, y'all? Because this phone dead. But, yeah. Through adversity and under pressure, diamonds are truly created when you shine bright like the diamond that you are. You shine bright like the diamond that you truly can be. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I love you. I love you.